What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Monday night. That means a Tales from the Flipside episode. This is a big one. He-Man fans, you better be out there. I really hope you're out there. This is a good show. Trust me.
Tales from the Flipside. Flip side.
Oh boy, everybody. This is a big one. Big Leg is super stoked for this. I'm super stoked for this. I know the CEO is stoked for it, and Carter, he's stoked for every show. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Dave Wilkins in the house. Dave, thank you, brother.
Hey, right on, man. How you guys doing?
We're stoked, man. Sean, I'm gonna say it right here. Sean introduced me to Dave Wilkins way back in the day. I don't know if Sean, you were the first one to really talk about that Skeletor variant, but you really He-Man stuff just front and center. And I remember you talking about going to get a print at one of Dave's booths at either PowerCon or San Diego one year. Yeah. And
it's there.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So good stuff, man. Sean, what do you think, brother?
Just happy to be able to do this. I was really happy to hear about Masters Universe coming back, just for Netflix in the first place, and then to find out we're going to get a prequel comic before that, even happier. And then seeing the first announcement and going, what the hell? Where's Dave on number one? And then he's doing 2 through. He's doing 2 through 4. I'll say that's the second best thing. And then there's some suggestions, and looks like he's back on number 1. So we're ladies, all good stuff going on.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we have some very fun stuff to talk about tonight. As you guys know, we have an exclusive cover reveal, and we can say right now, for the first time, that it is going to be a Dave Wilkins number 1 variant. So now you guys can get 1, 2. Listen, I'm going to show you guys this while we got it going. We've got the trailer playing in the background, but here is issue 2 for Dave's upcoming variant for number 2. Tell us a little bit about this one, Dave. Is this a new image that you've created for this?
Oh yeah. So cover number 2. This was something a little different. We talking with the guys and what they were trying to do with the show and what they were bringing to it, old and new. We got to change a few things and dial in a few things. You could see Snake Mountain is like right, just like the toy.
Yep.
They're so faithful on the show.
Well, yeah, I think that we need that as nostalgia-loving He-Man fans, right?
Absolutely.
And this image was the first image that I saw of the new Dark Horse stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Of the Dark Horse Masters Universe Revelation, which, as Sean said, as we talked about, is the prequel to the animation coming up. Mm-hmm. But ladies and gentlemen, later on in the show, we're going to introduce the cover reveal for the issue 1 that Dave did with the one and only Wanted Comics. Shout out to Wanted Comics and Drew, real good friends of the show, always just putting out the heat. We gave away, we were lucky enough last week to give away the cover to Nice House on the Lake by John Gallagher. So we'll announce that tonight also. But 2 weeks in a row where we've got just 2 amazing artists on the show talking about a Wanted Comics book. So make sure you guys go follow Wanted Comics on IG. And if you already aren't following Dave Wilkins, there's something wrong. Trust me, go do it. It's worth it. All right, let's get into. I want to ask a couple questions while we're waiting for some people to pop in, and we'll ask Dave some questions first. The first question we always ask every artist that comes on the show is creator first. I love to find out what if creators first is. Some creators don't like talking about it. Some creators cringe when they talk about their very first published work. Do you remember, what is your very first published work?
Yeah, it's funny. The first thing that I ever got published professionally was actually my own book, which was the weirdest thing. It never happens. It just never happens. It's a comic about a luchador called El Zombo Fantasma. I did it with Dark Horse. Again, like probably, I want to say 15 years ago now. And it was like very squash and stretch, like Spumco looking, because that's how I knew how to draw. You know, that was long before, you know, life drawing and all that other kind of stuff before I could get in it. Because when I first got on, I wasn't getting covers. I wasn't doing concept art. I wasn't doing any of it. There you go. That's the old school right there.
Hey, sharks, all the drunken sharks out there, there you go. Go hit it up.
That's old school. Yeah.
eBay's
I'm
gonna
looking
be
up.
cleaned out.
I'm looking up eBay right now.
But yeah, man, like super proud of that. Because like I'm still rocking with Zombo. We're about to drop some new stuff very soon. So
Where can we find that? Is that going to be out on? You can do self-publishing, Dark Horse.
Yeah, we're gonna do a teaser trailer for it next week. So
Nice.
we're going full animation, some CG stuff. So it should be pretty fun.
Hey,
Yeah.
there you go, sharks. That now you guys got even a better jump on that. Now you getting ready to like option and shit. Like, let's go. Here we go.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
That's not an easy book to find. Because
No, it's not.
I don't have one, and I've tried to find one. And
I'll make sure you get one.
Yes.
Hey, there we go.
Because like when I find them, like I grab them all. I'm just like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
how many you have? 12. Give them here, and I bag them, order them, and put them away. Because I guess when it came out, it was initially a part of Rocket. You know how like sometimes they'll do like the offshoot line to see.
Yeah.
And I guess what was going on was at the time, like manga was hitting so hard, and retailers were like, "Look, we only got enough room for the big two and this manga stuff that's just exploding all over everything." And like this Rocket line, this is not going to last. You know what I mean? Like nothing's going to stick around from this. You know, so they ordered, you know, nickel and dime. You know, I think if it was on Dark Horse proper, you know, like Star Wars or Hellboy or something like that, people would have taken it a little bit more legit. But it was a miniseries, you know.
Well, who was the artist that you grew up on? That you grew up like, you know, copying and stuff, and who was your inspiration growing
Oh
up?
man, that's easy. That's Bingus right there from
Yeah.
Capcom. Yeah, man. Because like we're all old school, you know, Street Fighter fans, and you flip open that book and you see like Bingus and Akiman and Shoei's like drawings. Like you're just like, how can somebody do shapes like this? How is this even possible? You know.
Yeah.
That was really it for me as far as, and you could still see it in my work. And then when you go to comics though, you know, Frank Miller, Frank, man, Jim Lee,
Yeah.
Bisley, you know, all these dudes hitting, Joe Jusko, like these are like dudes, Buscema, you know, just everything they touched, you had to get, you know. It's
Did
all
you
in the DNA.
Did you grow up playing a lot of video games?
Oh yeah.
All right, top 3 all-time video games for you.
Let's see. Oh man, it's a toss-up between Children of the Atom, because the four-player X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah. Darkstalkers again with the Capcom. I'm always right there. And Bad Dudes, just from a straight.
That's my all-time favorite. That's one of my all-time favorites. That was the first arcade game I ever played. Bad Dudes.
Yeah, just from the sheer playability of it. Now, I know it sounds blasphemous because, you know, I did Splatterhouse, but Splatterhouse is hard as hell. You know, I don't know if you played the old school ones.
Impossible.
But yeah, I mean, that is like I want to say that's probably the first rage quit game. It's just like, you know, you're just like, I'm done, because like there's no going back to that, you know.
Yeah.
This year, you know.
Well, I think that the art that was coming out of that Capcom, you know, world that time with Darkstalkers and all those arcade games really changed a lot of people's lives. Shout out, we got the one and only Trey in the house. What up, brother? Good to see you. No mention of Battletoads. No Battletoads.
Dude, Battletoads is my number one, dude. It's tough.
No.
Tough.
And, the first the first El Zombos have already disappeared off eBay. Just so you know.
There we go. There you go, Shark. Yeah,
We have this effect sometimes.
Badass, man. Thank you guys.
For all you Drunken Chat fans out there, make sure you sub up to the Mighty Mel V channel. Shout out to all the Drunken Chat fans out there that are just sharks out there on the eBays, and you say something and they kill it. They fight for it.
Dude,
Chum in the water.
You'll see a ton of El Zombos getting signed now, Dave.
Yeah.
We were like, I don't see El Zombos, and now everybody got El Zombo somehow.
Yeah.
It is an Owl Wall book. Yes.
So, do you collect much, like comics, toys, stuff like that?
Well, I mean, my wife is watching this, so I'm gonna say no, not anymore, not too much. But oh yeah, definitely. I mean, my storage is like loaded with stuff that I have to rotate. You know, you have your spring statues.
Yeah.
And your summer displays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're so damn big. Yeah. You only get one room in the house, and it's just like, come on, man. Like,
all right.
it ain't
So
all
what
fitting in there.
What is the Grail comic book for you? Is there a Grail comic book that you don't have?
Comic. I don't think there's a Grail comic. Because all the ones that really like influenced me. But I mean, if there's like some original artwork, I started getting into that.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about it because we love talking about OA here. What is some Grail OA for you?
Well, I don't know if you can really see it behind me, but the frame with the three pictures, the two white and the that's actually a cell from Ninja Scroll. That's like my all-time favorite anime.
Yep.
And that's a shot of Gemma, and like it's the two underdrawings of his head, and then the final cell painting. Let me move so you can there that way. That is like define that with such gold, and then below that, I think I need to move this way so you can see. Yeah, that is a cell from Fire and Ice, signed by Bakshi.
Oh wow!
And it's Dark Wolf.
Yeah, that was one of the first animation movies I'd ever seen.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like one of those things where you're like, oh, not all cartoons have to be Disney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was before Voltron or any of that stuff was starting to get mainstream over here. I think they ran that like in the evening one time on a Friday night, and you're just like, what is this? You know? And yeah.
Good stuff.
80s.
And to this day, I still think that Ninja Scroll is my all-time favorite anime. It's the first one that I ever saw that just made me go, "Holy cow, this is amazing!"
Yeah,
so, good stuff. Very good stuff. All right, let's, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into some news. Did you guys all see Loki? Everybody see Loki? Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't think I've talked to a single person yet that thought it was bad. Anybody on here think it was not good? Good. All right, good. That we're in good company. I thought it was absolutely amazing. I know people are going crazy right now for the Lady Loki stuff and everything. I thought it was pretty cool to see a Marvel show or a Marvel something where the first episode wasn't something that I had to kind of like worry about it being all set up and be boring. From jump, it was really good. It was really interesting how they explained it, and I think that Mobius character is a hit already. One show in and it's a hit. Absolutely amazing. What'd you think, Dave?
For me, it was like they opened up so much that, and I mean, they don't, they stick the landing all the time, but with 6 episodes, this is not an 8 episode or a 12 episode show. There's a lot to get through in 5 more episodes. And then what was the first one, an hour?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So like unless they hour and 20, hour and 15, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I'm just like, how are you guys gonna?
Well, the crazy thing is that this is the highest viewed Disney Plus premiere, which which is kind of surprising considering we're kind of getting out of COVID and people are getting out more. That we're seeing so much viewership on this stuff. I know that even people are going to the movies now, so you would think like the movies would blow up. That movie came out this weekend, the sequel to the what is that silent movie?
Oh, Quiet Place.
Quiet Place. The sequel came out to Quiet Place, and it blew away records and stuff. Really, really good. What do you think, Sean, of Loki?
I thought I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was good. To be honest, it was a little. We've had guests at our house. This is one of our yearly tournament weekends, and last year it didn't happen for obvious reasons. Last June, and so golf tournament when played. So like I made sure to like just jump on it and see it early, but I got interrupted a lot. I think you were. Yeah, so don't. But my wife's going to town with a friend, so I'm probably going to watch it 3 more times before Thursday. But I really did really enjoyed it. The Mobius character for sure. I mean, he plays mostly the same aw shucks kind of guy in most of the stuff he does, and it's done him well over his life. So don't quit what you're good at.
No,
and I'm not surprised that Loki did this well. But you know what actually surprised me was not now, but when the original Avengers dropped, and I was like, yeah, this was good. Loki, he was great. He was great as Loki in this. What kind of tripped me out back then is I remember he was winning like Nickelodeon Kids Choice favorite actor in a movie and stuff like that with the kid. And I thought he was good. I mean, he is good, but like I didn't feel, you know what I mean? So he sort of identified with more people, I think, and more younger people over the years and throughout the series than I actually thought he would, So I'm not surprised that it's that much that it did that well. And is that actually the first appearance? Because Topher said it wasn't. I always believe Topher.
I was going to ask you guys, Carter, do you know what the line is on this being his first appearance and not being his first appearance?
Okay, so I believe 352 is a cameo.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
But 353's got him right there in the UPC box.
Yep. Right on the cover. So
the newsstand is garbage, basically.
Yeah, right. That's a first. Hey, that's a first in
that's
in
a
this
good
stuff.
point.
Yeah, like this is not
point.
The newsstand isn't going to be worth more in this book now because he's there on the cover.
No, people are still that dumb.
Yeah.
Let's not underestimate any of us.
A raw, is it the raw set that sold for like $90? So they're selling, they're cooking right now. I know Ben Stein put the market report together tonight, and I didn't see any on the market report, but I haven't seen many 9.8s. I don't know what 9.8s are selling for. Stein, do you know?
I haven't seen a 9.8 sell for a while. I mean, I would assume there's probably a truckload. Yeah, I would say there's a boatload going to CGC right now.
Yeah, that 9.4 for 200. That was probably like an early morning purchase, like Thursday morning that somebody grabbed the 9.4. Because that was probably that's the highest I've seen you scroll through here. But there it is. There's one 520.
520 for a 9.8 May 29th.
But May 29th, that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah,
that was somebody who has Disney information and was bidding on eBay, right? That wasn't us. So,
who wasn't buying this for $1 when they had the chance?
Nobody on this channel, because I know.
Man, I've been skipping Fantastic Four for a long time, dude. So, and we've all, you've got the access. So
yeah, that's the problem, right? I know George isn't here tonight, but man, he was picking up those for $1.05 at a pop. For a long time.
For sure.
Did you leave any, Carter? Did you leave any?
Hell no. Everyone I saw, I bought. So I thought I sold all of them, and then I found like 2 more. So It's all good.
Yeah,
it's on and popping.
It's a good book to sell right now, that's for sure. We'll see what happens as the series go on. But I know that there are some rumors out there that people are talking like Mobius could have some kind of dark turn and devious turn. But I really hope not. I really hope that like he's the new Coulson.
Yeah,
that's what he feels like. He feels like the new Coulson.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing I want to say about Loki. Like we had more time with Loki than we had with any of the other characters who've had shows already. So it's kind of like catching up with an old friend.
True.
I think he's one of those. Loki's one of those characters like Killmonger, that is or Namor. Even Namor, we talked about Namor last week. He's one of those characters that can play the hero and the villain role really well, and it's because you like him even as a villain, you kind of like Loki. Mm-hmm. Like he's got that charm, and now with them doing this timeline stuff, the amount of stories that can be told in the MCU is bonkers, absolutely bonkers. So, did you guys see it?
I felt like Loki got a little bit more old man skinny when it's supposed to be like 10 years ago. Like he's vegan or something now.
He's pretty thin, yeah.
Yeah, he's like just a little thin, right? They could have put him on the push-ups.
Well, as long as they don't give him those Zachary Levi fake muscles that are like so fake, you're like, what the hell is that? So
yeah,
and they changed that. I don't know if you guys saw. Did you guys see the new
suit? Is cool.
Yeah, they changed the suit. Cool. Yeah. It looks much better. Let me see if I can find it because that old suit was it was rough.
That was kids party superhero.
Yeah, 100%. Here we go. Here's the suit. Let's see if we got this. Where is this? I know I put it over here. Jesus, no, I didn't. There we go. Yeah, much better. Let's see here. Images. I mean, it's not bad. It's better. It doesn't have the fake muscles. It doesn't have the fake muscles.
Matter of fact, where can I buy one?
That's fake muscles, right?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, hold on.
Here you go. There you go. That's much better.
Yeah.
He looks a little bit more menacing too in that right picture. I hope that I hope that this can be a franchise that nobody thinks is going to bring DC back, but hopefully with Black Adam and that whole thing going on, we can see this bring some DC. And what do they call it? What are MCU and the DC
EU?
EU. There we go. That'll work. DC EU. So we'll see. Anyways, new suit for Shazam too. Loki was too dope though. I can't wait to see what we got. Another episode, a couple days. It was kind of weird not being on Friday. I wonder why they did that.
Yeah, Wednesdays, huh?
Yeah, that's
was
weird.
it Wednesday? Okay, yeah, I watched Thursday. That makes sense.
Yeah.
93 live viewers right now. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. We got the announcement for the giveaway tonight for this super dope nice house on the lake. Here we go.
It's summertime. I think people are on vacation if we only got 93 people right now.
Yeah, it is summertime. This is a super dope John Gallagher cover for Wanted Comics Nice House on the Lake. We did a little giveaway last week, and we're going to announce the winner tonight, so make sure you guys hang around for that one.
And have you seen the sales on those? Those are doing very well.
I was going to talk about that. Yeah, I saw we gave away another one on Saturday night, and at that time, that cover was selling for $70 raw, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, obviously raw, but that's not bad.
And the virgins are looking pretty good.
Oh,
as
yeah.
well, so,
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram post, but I had a lot of these here for obvious reasons. These are so also Wanted Comics is trying out giving a CBCS a whirl because for turnaround times, and I sort of I said, hey Drew, why don't you try to work out a dealer account with them, and that's we're separate. I press the books. I don't work with Wanted Comics or for Wanted Comics or anything like that. But and these things, they're just they're absolutely beautiful. They're so nice. They look so much better in person, than I thought. Any of the same Gallagher stuff. I know we said it when he was on last week, but just holding them in your hand is such a better gauge than looking at them on the internet. So if you're on the fence about buying one for yourself, just do it.
Kind of crazy that when we talk about a DC book, we're excited about a DC book, and it's not even a superhero book, right? That's the weird thing.
Yeah, and it's good. And it's was supposed to be going to be 12 issues, and then maybe recurring, like a different story in the next after that. If they keep doing it sort of series like that. So. But, you don't hear too many 12-issue runs anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
it seems like 3 to 5, especially maybe a crossover, obviously, or something like that. But you don't see too many things planned out for 12 full issues. So
are they going to doomsday clock it and start and stop and start and stop?
You know what? I mean, if they
like
plan the 12, here's the deal. I doubt it because it's not – I don't think there's like creative direction. This isn't following the superheroes and then a few months later deciding they want them to go into a different arc and then don't have people figuring it out. You know what I mean? Like, I think this book was written and assuming that the art is done, 12 years, 12 issues, that'll last us a year, so we'll see. So hopefully not. Hopefully no starting stops.
It's most of the stuff that we talk about in the news category, unfortunately, is rumor most of the time, and this one could be a big rumor, but it's one of my all-time favorite characters. And speaking of DC, there was a rumor going around that they're gonna do Deadman stuff, which
underrated, dude. That book so underrated. It was Strange Adventures 205 or whatever. It's like, dude, that book was so like nobody cared about that book. You get that book real cheap, man. I'm kind of glad that Deadman's finally getting his due.
That was one of our first rises.
Yep,
with Simon with the Simon put one of those on us, and that thing's just like the rest of DC from that. Everything's tore up. You're not finding a high grade copy of that right now. I mean, you are, but you're going to pay for it.
Yeah. Here's interesting. If there's ever an underrated book, here's some prices you guys can see. I mean, raw.
Arresto 2.0 for $200, huh?
Yeah, 6.5 for $576. I picked up one a couple of years ago because it is one of my favorite, and I never had one high grade. I picked up a 7.5. Here you go. There's an 8.5 that Best Buy it now for
$1,600. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. So we'll see what happens. But the sad thing is that, well, it's not a sad thing. It's just the way it worked. Is that Strange Avengers 205 is the first Deadman, but Neil Adams takes over at 206, right? And some of those Neil Adams Deadman, Strange Adventures Deadman book covers are super, super cool. So keep an eye out for those if you guys are, looking at the old school Silver Age stuff. Some of those Deadman covers might start selling. But people are starting to talk about Justice League Dark. So is that where this could be heading? Right?
It makes sense.
You would imagine. I mean, that's the first thing I think of.
What's the deal with Zatanna? Where were we supposed to see her? Did they ever say, or was that just a rumor?
I thought it was going to be a solo movie.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
Did they spin the solo movie out from? Because I know Guillermo del Toro was attached to this as Justice League Dark many years ago, but it was the whole Constantine, the whole crew, and then I guess when that whole thing didn't work out, then we started seeing like talk about solo films like Zatanna and Deadman.
Okay.
Yeah. I think everybody was so let down by the news that Guillermo del Toro wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
That was one of the few breaking scoops, like on comic book news, movie news, where I was like, "Fuck, that sucks," because that would have been absolutely amazing to see, Deadman, Constantine. Because those who would you think would be in there? You'd be Deadman, Constantine,
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing,
Zatanna, like you
Zatanna.
said. I mean, you can't do it without Constantine.
Yeah.
It should be. I mean, I think we're all expecting the DC New 52 2011-12 team of that from them. You know what I mean?
Such a great run.
That's how we're all picturing it. And there were a lot of those, and I think people started to sort of respect that run. Maybe 6 or 12 issues in, and then the number ones really started to disappear, like from comic stores and eBays and stuff. And then there's a second print on that also, which is impossible to find, especially
the red one.
Yeah, and in high grade, it's red. Suicide Squad's red. Is Suicide Squad definitely red? I forget if the JLD is red or not.
They're both so hard to get in high grade.
It is red. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah.
That was such a great time in DC, that New 52 era.
Yes.
And I think
it.
Yeah, I don't think we realized how great of a time that was until we went on to the next couple of years.
Rebirth.
But to Rebirth. It was the Snyder run, that Flash run was really good. The Detective run was really good in the beginning. The Green Lantern run stuff was amazing. Justice League Dark was amazing. The Suicide Squad stuff was good. The only stuff
Suicide
Superman
Squad 6 and 7. We got new like Harley origins. You know what I mean? A lot of spectacular covers back then. I mean, with it's almost cliche, but it started 10 years ago. So you're with Capullo and Snyder on Batman. I mean, geez, come on, right?
Oh yeah,
that worked out. That was wonderful. and then they killed Batman in 35, and then
This underrated statement right here. A lot of people got brought back on New 52.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that includes me too, because it was about when Dark Knight hit the theaters, and honestly, I lived across the street from the comic store, and I sort of was out of it, and I walked over there to buy some old trades, and then I went back every Wednesday for many years. So was New 52 is great, and that made Marvel do Marvel Now. So
Yes.
Marvel said, well, then they made Marvel Now and Marvel Now again, Marvel Now and again. So everything lasted like 12 issues, or they restarted numbering at 700 or something, and just I have no idea.
I was talking to somebody, I forget who it was, but I was telling them how great comics were at that time, you know, and somebody asked me, well, did you like it at the time? I was like, no, I thought it was terrible. I thought that Marvel, all the Marvel Now stuff was forced and felt really forced, and I didn't think it was going to work, and I thought the only thing that DC had good going was Batman. And then as I look back at it, there's no doubt that it just hit on all cylinders. I don't think, I mean, everything Marvel did with Miles, with Gwen, Spider-Gwen, with Kamala Khan, with and then all that New 52 run, like we're talking about, the Green Lantern run, all that stuff was just amazing. But I remember kind of poo-pooing it at the time, and that really made me kind of go, well, I'm going to quit doing that. I'm going to wait till it comes out to see how they play it out, see how good it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah, without even really thinking about it, I mean, if you know, the newer and popular characters right now that Marvel have out, I mean, was it? I know that New 52 sort of forced Marvel Now into existence, but you know what I mean? But is that them like relighting this fire? Is that how we got Moon Girl and expanded, you know, Miles, who already existed, but expanded Miles, you know, Kamala,
the competition between the two,
all different with all these new characters, you know, Spider-Gwen, etc. They all spawned from right after that. So unintentionally, DC might have done this all for Marvel.
Yeah.
Some funny comments that the New 52 logo was terrible.
Yeah. Metro Lobo was terrible.
You guys forget that Lobo Green Lantern cover with the homage where he's holding the ring.
Oh yeah. That wasn't New 52 though.
That was Lobo during New 52.
Oh yeah. Old Lobo with the rings.
Yeah. So good stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, talking about all that, about how good the competition was, we got news that Marvel's leaving Diamond, and now Diamond has lost both DC and Marvel. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that whole thing. We talked about it, or they talked about it on the Saturday night show, the Modern Comic Mayhem show. Shout out Jesse James Comics. Jesse came on and explained it a little bit, you know, kind of the news, and it's really interesting to see that happening, and it's finally happening out of necessity, right? This is 100% necessity at this point, with everybody being kind of down and out on Diamond, and how, you know, a lot of the problems that's been happening over the years. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. So I guess in January we're going to start seeing Marvel books at Lunar. I'd be interested to see what the chat thinks. 123 live people in the chat. If you guys have any, I see a couple of retailers in the chat, and I would love to hear what they think about the whole thing. Let us know, but we'll see. Maybe this is what we need. Anyone?
I think Diamond's had a monopoly. I mean, Steve's, like we talked about in the pre-show, kind of Steve's a smart guy. I mean, they'll figure it out, but it's, you know, you got to have some competition. I mean, if you have no competition, you're never going to strive to be better. I mean, that's how you look at it, right? I mean,
amen.
If I had the money, because it probably costs 7 figures, I'd be trying to buy out every warehouse they have right now.
Yeah,
and guys, God knows we're going to see some books hit the streets that haven't seen the light of day, and you don't. Yeah. People should be scratching back. If you got an in, you should be scratching the back these days. I got to tell you that. If you know anybody, which I don't.
You want me to call them on the bat phone?
Yeah, call on the bat phone, man. Let us in the warehouse. We promise.
Make it happen,
all the profits.
You know,
come on, Shug.
I gotta dangle some people off a balcony once in a while, but I can make it happen.
That's what we brought Dave in.
Yeah. All right, guys, listen, 122 live viewers. We're going to get into what we really wanted to talk about tonight, and that is the amazing new He-Man stuff that is coming out through Netflix and Dark Horse Comics. And one of the reasons why we have Dave on tonight is to talk about this stuff. We're going to show you the amazing new cover for Wanted Comics and the Dark Horse Comics #1 variant, exclusive variant through Wanted Comics, which is really cool. But I figure we would just kind of show everybody the trailer real quick, and if you guys haven't seen it, here we go. Let's get into it.
After time, you try to take this castle, but you will never succeed, Skeletor.
Call your champion.
Killed it with the song. This is on YouTube for anybody that wants to go check it out. On big screen, they put it up for free. Kevin Smith is involved. What a great song.
I have the power!
Yeah, it looks good. So good stuff, everybody. Sorry I had to talk through some of it just so we don't get hit with any copyright stuff. But it was on free for YouTube, so we're hoping that we'll be okay. But man, does this look good? This looks amazing. Kevin Smith, Masters of the Universe Revelation.
Yeah, the interesting thing is it's the same animation studio as Castlevania, and Castlevania was dope too on Netflix. So I mean,
yeah.
and they made it. They made it legit. Like they made it real. Like they're finally actually fighting. Like I don't know how many people are going back to watch the old Masters of the Universe cartoons, but like I swear to God, if you watch them like falling asleep in bed, and I mean all sober, everything, like you feel like you get high watching Barbarians in Space with the themes that they have going on there, you know. Yeah. So and then it also, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but He-Man never punched anybody. I know that doesn't sound right. All he would do was throw people across the the football field they were fighting on next to a castle while they shot lasers at each other.
Come on, man, cartoon version of A-Team, man. A-Team out here.
Yeah. So the second I started watching this commercial, I sat here and I waited. When's he going to throw a punch? When's he throw a punch? By the way, the first punch in the commercial is him punching the ground. But it still can't see it. And look, he just threw somebody. See what I mean? I'm telling you. And I was like, I wonder if that's a nod. He punches the ground, not a person, and then chucks somebody across the universe over there. So, keeping it true.
Well,
really enjoyable.
Kevin Smith. If Kevin Smith's involved, he's gonna have those cool little Easter eggs. He's got to. He's such a nostalgia fan. Of this time period. So we'll see. And it is Mark Hamill as Skeletor, which is absolutely perfect. They also have, I think, Lena Headey from Game of Thrones. I believe is it Evelyn or is she Tila? I can't remember.
I think they have a couple.
Yeah, they have a couple really good names in there. And Ozzy, you're right. We do need some Faker.
We need some Faker.
That's my all-time favorite Masters of the Universe character, man.
And I wonder what they're gonna do with like season releases, because I know Castlevania, they did like two releases in 1 year kind of thing, like beginning and end. So it'll be interesting how they do the releases. Like I know they probably shot like 2 or 3 seasons worth, or try to get at least the ball rolling, because it's gonna be massive.
Yeah, and it's been coming for a while, and we need some fake. I do have the John Cena Faker on the wall up there. Over there.
I did.
I saw that at Walmart. I'm all, that is going home with me right fucking now. that was it. How do you not buy a John Cena Faker, man? Right? Come on.
Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, we'll get into that a little bit later in Market Report. That's a fun little story about where you guys can find some of those cool toys. But all right, so we have the Dark Horse series. That's the prequel to this that's coming out, which is really cool. If you guys didn't see that, I'll bring that up. And Dave is working on most of the covers, and
now all of them.
Now all of them. Yeah. So let me show you guys something really cool. This is a world premiere exclusive cover reveal to He-Man Masters of the Universe Revelations from Dark Horse #1, which is a really sweet cover by Dave Wilkins for Wanted Comics. Bam. Super dope. Super dope.
Awesome.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah.
Can't be that. So super excited. So super excited.
Yeah, man. That was a fun ask for sure. Because like you guys collect, like a completionist like myself, I'm like, wow, 2 through 4. That's not 1 through 4.
No, yeah.
And then some retailer friends were like, how come you didn't do the first issue? And I was like, oh, they already have a variant set up for that one, and painted cover. Stapon killed that one. It's a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
And Mignola, as the variant. So it's just like that's all locked up. They don't need me for that. And then the guys over at Wanted were like, would you do a store variant? I said, absolutely. And that's what we turned out. Kind of like a sister piece to my Skeletor from the first series that I got to.
Yeah, which multiple people in the chat tonight have said is the best comic cover ever. Like, which is crazy. So, and a lot of people, people, that is their favorite comic cover that they've ever seen. So,
I actually have 4 versions of it on this wall. I have one of your prints. I got a 9/8. I have the German trade paperback, and well, at least got 3 of them up there.
There's a print too. That's really nice.
No, well, the print, I mean, it's the same thing, but it's the print from PowerCon. Well, from I'm sure other things besides PowerCon, but that's where I grabbed it. Was with you at PowerCon there. So, that's always been the best one. And then, what's fun, so the first copy of that I was actually able to get, because even though it's supposed to be a 1 in 25, I don't think it's 1 in 25.
No,
I think it's rare. I think it's rarer than that.
Yeah. From what I was told, like the first initial I was told was it was 1 in 25 like anybody else. But then when a couple of retailer guys would come by my table at con, they were like, no. You had to get like 100 of these normal books to get that one. That's why it's so expensive on eBay, because it's just not 1 in 25 is not that, going to be thousands of dollars on eBay. At this point, Yeah.
For those of you guys that don't know, this is the book that we're.
That was crushed. Yeah,
that was my $3 pickup, Baltimore.
Right on.
No, Dino found one for $2.
Yeah,
he shows it to me. I'm like, what the? He walks over, pays for it, and walks off. And I put it in that. I put it in that comic sandwich where you put 2 shitty books and that book in the middle. Like, I got 3 books, dude.
That's amazing.
You always let the guy's daughter check you out.
Well, these are some nice.
Wait till the owner's away. His wife's standing there with the cash.
Whatever, dude.
Well, and it's fun. The first one time I found one raw. There's this. It's actually a San Diego dealer. I don't love throwing people on the bus. I'm not going to say anything. I mean, Dave being around, you know who he was, but I'm not. But anyway, so this guy's always at cons. I've seen him try to do like really slimy stuff, like try to tell people their Hulk 181 isn't worth anything. Try to slip in that there's missing a value stamp in another. And then, so I'm going through his, I'm going through all his variants and stuff like that at WonderCon. Was it Comic-Con? Yeah, it was at WonderCon years and years ago. And he's got all these in there, and he's got one in there for $25. And now it's not worth what 5 or 6 years ago it wasn't worth what it is now, but it was worth a lot more than $25. Put it that way. And I watched this guy literally try to take people's money. So whatever, I don't feel bad at all. And so I had another just the same run, just a regular #1 that wasn't like in the very box, but it was like $3 or something. And just the opposite cover of that. And just as a collector, that's one of the things I'm buying. And I get in there, and he tries to raise the price on the regular #1 to $10 on me because it's a #1. And I'm like, you don't even know you're raising the price on the wrong book here, buddy. I did not fall. I would have had to have fallen for it if I was going to still only get that for $25. But I didn't have to fall for it.
You gotta. Yeah, listen, you gotta love comments like this one, Dave. Like when you're getting compared to He-Man on the cover. Jesus, man.
There you go.
Jesus.
Oh man.
Shout out to
Dude.
Flynn's Ghost. Yeah. Shout out to Flynn's Ghost. Go by Dave's table at the next con. He'll give you a free autograph for that.
Definitely.
But
Man.
it's really cool to see these two, right on top, right back and forth from each other, because I think they will go together. Absolutely gorgeous. So for those of you few people out there that have this Skeletor, amazing Skeletor variant from He-Man and Masters of the Universe #1 from DC back in the day, this Wanted Comics Dark Horse Masters of the Universe Revelation #1 would go perfectly with it. And if you don't have the Skeletor, well, pick this one up until you get it, because this is pretty damn sweet. So keep an eye, everybody, on Wanted Comics IG and wantedcomics.com for when this thing goes on sale. It is absolutely gorgeous, and it is worth picking up. And then for those of you guys that don't know, make sure you guys go to the shops when #2 come out and get yourself the #2 variant by Dave also, and complete
just
the
order
set.
it now. But
Yeah, just order it now.
Well,
Much
3 and 4 are
easier.
going to complete it. We're still patiently waiting 3 and 4. If you feel like coming on again to show your covers 3 and 4, we won't be upset. We won't be upset. We won't be upset. Do you know? So with the Wanted cover, I didn't ask you or anything. Are you doing like a virgin cover of this? Is there going to be, or just is it only going to be the logo cover?
I'm not sure what the guys over at Wanted are going to do. I think just for like the promo, they're probably going to do something like this with a massive logo. But I think they should be doing a virgin variant.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be.
I would imagine, like if Dark Horse and Mattel want to do it, trust me, trust me, then the version is going to come out.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
And don't forget, people, that Kevin Smith is the writer on this also. So all you Kevin Smith fans out there, just don't go and watch the series on Netflix. Definitely read this too, because if you guys think that series looks good, this is going to be just as good, I have a feeling. And it's got super dope Dave Wilkins covers on it. So now it gives you even more reason to buy it. But it would be cool to see this tie into the show in a sweet way. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's great that it's a prequel. And I mean, is it kind of cool? Is it kind of cool doing covers for Kevin Smith also? Because I kind of really like Kevin Smith. I think he's does amazing work, and enjoy his podcast. Think he's hilarious. I think he's a really good human. And so I think that's got to be kind of cool doing the Kevin Smith thing,
Yeah, and for him to be like, it's so easy for like Hollywood guys to do their Hollywood thing, and then someone else come and just be based in. But like for him to be as hands on with the actual book, making sure the narrative is as tight as what we're about to watch, on Netflix.
Nice.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, we wouldn't have known that, so that's awesome to hear.
Yeah. 128 people live watching us. Thank you, guys. We appreciate each and every one of you. We're going to announce the winner of last week's contest here shortly, so stick around if you guys put in for that. And make sure you guys hit the like button, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subbed. Hit that bell. Whenever we drop new content, you guys will get notified. We got a lot of stuff going on this channel. We got shows every night of the week, multiple shows some days. Tomorrow night, we got the Comic Book Women, who are doing amazing stuff. If you guys didn't see their spotlight on Vanessa Del Rey last week, do yourself a favor, go check it out. They're spotlighting some amazing creators in comics right now and doing a really good job at it. So shout out to the creators over at Comic Book Women. Make sure you're also following them on Nearing Nirvana on their channel also. All right, let's. What do you guys say?
Can we see? Maybe Dave knows the answer from the chat here. Flynn's Ghost has so is Dark Horse just doing the Netflix adaptation, or do they have the comic rights from DC completely from MOTU?
Great question.
Do you happen to have any idea?
I'm pretty sure it's all over at Dark Horse at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great question.
Yeah, they wrapped that up over at DC a while ago, I believe.
Yeah, well, I mean,
because Rob, who's also writing this, Rob was a part of the original Dark Horse. Rob is, he's from Mattel, and he wrote a lot of the original, not Dark Horse, original DC stuff. And now he himself is working with Kevin. You can see him on the book as well with, for the Dark Horse stuff now. So it's all,
Yeah, Rob David has got a pretty big resume from what I can tell.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he's been around for a while. So anyways, this stuff all looks amazing. And that makes it even better that now that we know we're going to hopefully see many stories to come from Dark Horse and in the Masters of the universe. So let's get on with the rest of the show. All right, so here is let's give away the winner of this week's or last week's comic, which is Nice House on the Lake #1, and that is thank you to YouTube Comment Picker, which doesn't sponsor the show at all, but they just make our lives super easy. So in order to win that book last week, you had to make a comment on the YouTube channel. We asked you to comment, what is your favorite horror movie that involves water? What was your favorite horror movie that involves water? So let's see who the winner is. And it's Wayne Salinas with a boring comment, but it's a winner. I'm sorry. I'm sure it's been mentioned 100 times, but it has to be Jaws. But hey, you're a winner, Wayne. So hit us up. You just
threw him under the bus.
I was hoping to get something like really creepy that involved, water or something that I might not know of, but everybody knows the Jaws. But Wayne, not only do you get made fun of on Tales from the Flipside for that comment, you're going to get this sweet Nice House on the Lake from DC, John Gallagher cover from an exclusive from Wanted Comics. So make sure you hit us up at Tales from the Flipside channel at gmail.com or on IG at Tales from the Flipside. Tell us the book you won and your contact information, and we'll get that sent out to you. I think Nicholas P. was in the chat tonight. He won that same book the other night on Modern Comic Mayhem, and lucky for me, he is in local here, so I'll just be able to drop it off at meet him up at Jesse James Comics one of these nights, hopefully. So we'll see what happens. $4. Yeah, save me the shipping. I don't know about you guys, but I feel bad for anybody that wins a book from this channel, and I got the book because I am horribly bad when it comes to shipping stuff out. I am so terrible. All these guys on the channel know how bad I am. They can all shake their head and go, yeah, he's supposed to send me something out 5 months ago, and I still haven't got it. I'm one of those people. It's terrible.
And then I'm like, Brian, did you send those? I don't remember. It was 6 months ago. You're like, oh no, I haven't sent them. I'm like, okay, well, whenever.
Well, if it was a winner, it would be just 5 months. They wouldn't have to worry for 6 months. I know. Yeah. 127 live viewers. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate you guys. Like I said, this is a really big deal for us. We're all big fans of Dave and what he does, and it was really cool to get a chance to get him on and talk about this book and his art moving forward. But one of the things that we said we would put him through was going to be market report, and we've got a really decent market report for Dave tonight that hopefully he'll enjoy seeing some of these things on. We got a lot of stuff to go over, but our man Z wasn't able to make it, so Stein has stepped in and dropped some really cool books. You ready to get into this, Stein?
Yeah, I didn't do half of them. Nico did half of them.
Ooh, Nico did half of them. So we'll I think we got this though. This is some interesting stuff here. Here is the market report, ladies and gentlemen, for Flipside episode 175. All right, first book this week, Seven Seas Comics #4, a CGC 3.0. Sold for just under $6,000, $5,800. Matt Baker cover, not bad.
Yeah, Baker stuff is just it never doesn't sell. It never doesn't sell high. I mean I can't imagine if he would have been around today. How many variants and stuff that he would be tagged to do. Or store variants, but I didn't even look to see if this one was from Nico. I didn't have a chance to look to see if this was an all-time high for this in grade.
I imagine so. That's pretty crazy for a 3.0. I mean, it looks gorgeous. The red is popping, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's one of his. That's definitely one of his best. That's probably one of his top 5, I would say, covers out there.
Yeah.
Is that a big chunk missing out of the side there
It
as
is.
well?
It is, but you know what? It's not that noticeable until you say something, right?
Yeah, that could be part of the design. If you were going to miss part of the cover, that's the correct place to miss part of this cover.
And it is a shark cover, so Z, you missed out. Maybe Z bought this one. Who knows? I doubt it.
Oh, that's very possible.
He's selling all his foreign stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, watch his IG if you want a cool foreign book.
Is he selling some of his foreign stuff?
Yep. So you guys keep an eye on Comics Are the Norm on IG, and you could find some cool foreign stuff. He was dropping off.
He's got a lot of multiples, though. You know what I mean?
Man, it's crazy. Absolutely bonkers. All right, next book on the list. Yeah, he is. Original Marvel comic art. Here's your OA. This is absolutely amazing. Of Hulk and Man-Thing by Jim Starlin and Ernie Chan.
Wow.
Yeah. $6,800. 33 bids.
That doesn't even seem that expensive to me.
No.
I mean, not because I'm rich, just because I would think it would be worth more is all I'm saying.
That's a lot of art.
What I mean? Yeah, that is a lot of art. I mean, look at the Man-Thing just hanging over there behind him with the Hulk, throwing someone like He-Man.
And it is a printed page from Rampaging Hulk magazine, which makes it even better. Splash page.
I'm always curious because like OA scares me only for the fact that it's never like authenticated somehow. It's like just like, I mean, how did this guy come to have this piece of original art? I mean, how'd that even happen? Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know like you can see it once you have it in hand and you can kind of tell, but do you really know that it was from Jim Starlin? I mean, I don't know.
I would hope so on this. This had some, what do they call that? Provenance, where they can prove it. Original art in comics is getting to be where it has to have some of that provenance. Some of that stuff is so expensive where you kind of expect it, but half the stuff I think is the history of how they got it is also cool to me. Like, some of these people, the way they got this original art, especially if they got it from the artists sometimes, some of these old school artists back in the day, and, if they were given as gifts or stuff, I love hearing that type of stuff.
Absolutely.
So this is not bad. $6,800, and you got a piece of Jim Starlin and Ernie Chan art, and it is absolutely gorgeous. All right, next book is a Star Wars book, a Marvel Star Wars book, which is nice to see on a list on this channel every once in a while. This is issue number 2. A lot of people have been talking about this book for the last 6 months because of the first in it. First Han Solo, first Chewbacca, first Obi-Wan. Absolutely crazy. A 9.8 sold for $3,300, 39 bids. That's bonkers.
Is that the 35-cent variant? What the fuck?
No,
man. No. Regular ass cover, a little bit miswrapped, but 9.8.
Just buy a raw. Fuck that.
But then when your friends come over, you can't say, "Hey, I have the raw version," and especially, there's a lot of competition with Star Wars fans, man.
Do you guys see much?
$13.99 shipping.
Do you guys see much growth on this past this in the next year or so? Is this?
I've been wrong about Star Wars for years, so I'm apparently a terrible person to ask because I've passed up on so many. I've passed up on all of them by any means. You know what I mean? I never passed up any Bobas. Sold some too early, but sold all of them too early. But
I'd pass up number 2 all the time. Yeah, all the time back in the day.
The bin always started at number 2. Number 1 was always gone.
Yeah.
It took me a long.
Or it was the blue with the reprint label, and you're like, shit. You wait that 1 second. Is it the reprint? But now I even would buy the reprints back then because I figured they're so cheap, you might as well. So at least I guess that's one of my few Star Wars moral victories in comic purchasing.
It took me a long time to take number 1 seriously.
Yes. Yeah. It took a lot. And like Sean said, most of people that are playing the speculation game in comics either lost hardcore and didn't pick up any Star Wars stuff or just banked on it and got lucky and picked up a lot of that Dark Horse stuff that went crazy. As a matter of fact, Dave, you did some art on some of those issues that are selling pretty well right now in those Dark Horse Star Wars stuff. And for the longest time, people just didn't pick that stuff up unless you were a Star Wars fan. It's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I get confused. I get confused on this old Marvel Star Wars when it always when it's backwards, where it's movie canon first, and then it just was kind of put in. Comic came second. I get real confused. Like it doesn't. Yeah, I get it. It's first appearance of Han Solo in a comic, but it doesn't feel like it's like anything like earth shattering. Yeah, because he was in the movie already, so it doesn't feel like it's any big deal. But apparently
one of the greatest characters of all time. So there's that.
Same way with Boba Fett.
But I do agree with you. And same. And I mean, who's had less of an obviously I'm not talking about Mandalorian, but I mean, who had less of an impact that people love than Boba Fett when it came to Star Wars?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. He just looked real cool, died real quick. And then they're like,
Vader's
better
the
bring him
only
back.
one.
Everybody thinks he's cool. So,
yeah.
Which one's the first Vader? Is that like 30? No, it's not that high.
I think he was in number 1, wasn't he? He's on the cover.
Oh, he's on the cover. He had the green helmet on the cover.
Yeah. All right. So here we were talking about those warehouse finds. We've got some multiples coming up here. This is interesting. Eternals number 2 warehouse find. Lot of 8 comics. We all know number 2 first appearance of Celestials and $1,500 for 8 Rob copies.
All right.
Yeah, this guy had a ton of warehouse finds.
3 more coming.
Yeah, I mean, and he had a lot more listed. I mean, when I was searching, because this is from Nico, and when I was trying to pull up the auction, I mean, he had a ton of them. So I don't know what warehouse this was, but there are so many. I mean, like there was one I think he had like 30 copies of, just all these 70s and 80s books. I mean, what warehouse has these just sitting around? I don't know.
They're out there. That's a crazy thing. Sometimes you hear about people finding stuff like this, and sometimes you hear people finding stuff like the Promise collection.
What do 9/8 of Eternals 2 sell for?
Let me look.
Or 9/6s for that matter.
I think you can get a 9/8 for less than what this guy just paid for 8 of these. And I'm lazy enough just to buy the 9/8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, now I got to sell 8 things. I'm going to try to profit off of it. You know what I mean?
Didn't you say CGC was being like on these, Bronze Age books and stuff and copper and stuff? They're really hard to get 9/8 in.
They 100% are. Like I watched a million these ones come back, and they're just it doesn't matter. Like anything pre 2000, pre 93, 94. I'm not being scientific exactly here. So 2,500. Well, wait, is that? Yeah, but is that American? Because it says Canada.
Canada. It says from Canada, but they should. They should do it for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was probably a decent purchase, but
here's a 9/2 30-cent variant that sold for $900.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your 30-cent variant on that book.
The 30-cent variants. I don't know if they're just because they happen to be online or people were pulling them out. There's 1,600. Yeah. The 30-cent variants on this one, like I felt like a lot of them were sitting around online like longer than they should have, which is usually my clue that I should buy one, and I didn't.
Yeah.
So
look at this, 1,500, 1,800. So I bet you 1,500 is pretty fair for a 9/8.
That's not terrible.
Are you guys?
You'd have to check the rest of the pictures. You know what I
mean? Are you guys even super excited about the Eternals movie?
I'm getting more excited. I'll tell you that after seeing and hearing a little bit about the plans of what they're doing. I'm definitely getting more excited. I wasn't excited that much.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what excites me. They've come out and said that Thanos is, an Eternal, right? They've come out and said that in the MCU, Thanos is an Eternal. So they are going to, if there's a chance that we could see more Thanos stuff or we could see Thane stuff, I'm all for that. I think they shouldn't have killed Thanos off. I thought that was a dumb idea. I hate when they kill really good villains off. I think it's a waste. But if we can, if they play that part and we can see some more Thanos stuff come in the future, even like an offshoot TV show about him in his younger days or something, I think that would be really cool.
That's a good point about Thane. That could be a nice cheap investment. Right now. I'm agreeing with you. That is a nice cheap investment. New Avengers 10 is something, and I thought he was kind of cool.
Was that the red cover or the?
Yes, red.
And that Infinity crossover was almost the last. What I thought was like a spectacular read all the way through. I enjoyed it a lot, and that was the epitome of sort of the beginning of Marvel now.
And who did all those gorgeous variants on those? In Huckley, yeah. God, those were gorgeous. Those were so out of reach when Avengers came out, when Infinity War came out, that I think they might be, at a decent buying price right now.
That Infinity, I think it's 1 in 100 with Thanos. You know what I mean, front and center. There's a Red Hulk one that he did. There's I don't know. There's some really good variants. And Ian Huckley did that whole 1 through 5. Whole 1 through 5 on that.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I thought
gorgeous.
they were great.
All right, here's some more warehouse stuff. This is we were just talking about it. Star Wars #1 warehouse lot, 5 of them, high grade, $3,450. That is crazy. 47 bids, 5 copies of #1.
So the sellers had a bunch of these. I'm always leery somebody marks everything as warehouse. And plus, just because it was in a warehouse doesn't mean it's any better than being stored in a bag and a board in someone's closet.
Yeah, he's kind of got every type of grade up there. High grade, average grade, very fine near mint grade.
Yeah, high grade, average, very fine near mint.
At least there's no fire emojis.
Gosh, remember when 9/8 of these were less than $1,000?
Yeah,
fire emoji, key, and boom.
Yeah,
that's what you need on your listing. That's what you need.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you got some Star Wars books, those Marvel ones are starting to sell. If you got them a high grade, here's another warehouse find, Nova. A lot of people have been talking about this book forever, and it ebbs and flows. 5 copies, 2,100, 64 bids on this one, which is interesting. Would you rather bet on this book or the Sam Wilson Nova?
Sam Alexander
Nova, or this Nova? I'm all over Sam Alexander just because of the price, right?
Yeah, I think because of the price. I mean, I'm old school, so I love this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, but I mean, it's going to be whoever it's going to be, and there's still like the incarnations of characters, like especially Star Wars and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So there's all the different incarnations of Nova and Nova Corps, and we thought we were already going to see Nova. And maybe they were giving it a whirl and they didn't produce it the way they wanted to and wanted to save him or something. Because we all thought we'd see Nova, more than just the Nova Corps in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. What about Young Avengers?
I mean, that's just sort of waiting to happen, but everybody knows it's waiting to happen. That's why they're paying so much money for Young Avengers 1.
Yeah.
So,
wow. It's interesting. 2,100 for 64 bids, 2,135 for 5 #1s of Nova. All right, let's get into some of the other ones. This is a dope Moon Knight cover. Moon Knight #1, 9.8, the second print, Alex Maleev variant. $661 for a 9.8 on this cover. Everything Moon Knight's going crazy right now.
Mm-hmm.
Bonkers.
Yeah, this one has that feel of being completely different than all other Moon Knight covers. Kind of like the Sienkiewicz for it just looks different. It looks like it should be expensive, right?
Yep, it's a good Moon Knight cover. At least it's very few Moon Knight covers that are as good as Sienkiewicz and Finch and stuff. And this is one of them, that's for sure. This is good.
It's Sienkiewicz and Finch are.
I don't know the story on this one. He just sent me the picture. I don't know what this went for. Do you know what it went for, Ben?
So apparently, I didn't see this. This, first of all, this is, this is an actual ASM 129. So apparently Clayton Crane auctioned this off on his Facebook page. It went for $7,500.
Is it
so he doctored this. I saw you post it in the chat, and I kind of just scrolled over it earlier today or yesterday, whatever it was. And I honestly just thought I thought they mislabeled it like they did my books.
Nope. He did a remark over the Punisher and over Spider-Man
That is amazing.
And then
it's kind of badass.
It is.
I mean, it looks great, but my gosh, I mean, it's basically not an ASM 129 anymore.
Here's
At least
a
he
perfect
did it
example.
to a 4.5 instead of a 9.0 though.
We've
At least
got
he destroyed a low grade copy.
We've got a cover artist in the house. Dave, would you do this? Would you draw over a grail like this?
I don't know if I have the stones to do something like that, man. That's
Right?
That's pretty ballsy. But I mean, it's Clayton, man. That dude's a beast. So I mean,
Came out amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he crushed that. I mean, as a standalone like piece of art, like original art, absolutely. You know, this is going to be somebody's grail right here. Whoever bought it, for sure. You know.
And a random question. So the top of the label's cut off. Is it purple or not? Because we got the yellow for the SS. Because clearly, you know, I'm sure Clayton turned it in himself or his representative or whoever. But like usually, like this is going to get you, you know. I don't know. It's weird.
They don't give purple for all those massive remarks. You know,
like they don't. Yeah, you don't get purple if you're famous, right?
Yeah. What was that She-Hulk that Greg Horn did? Yeah, the Greg Horn did. I mean, basically half the cover was gone.
It's in my house right now.
Is that yours?
I think it's another one. He did one for a friend, and it's in the press. It's not. It's in the pressing queue. Just because cons aren't open and stuff, so nobody's gonna run into Greg anytime soon. So, but I should start thinking about getting it out. Yeah. I can find it though; it's pretty cool. But he did more than one of those. So, yeah, and I guess it looks like Yi is saying Mike Mayhew did a few on some Hulk 181.
Wow!
I really respect Michael. That's.
That's ballsy. I mean, yeah. It's not like it's even like their original artist or something like that. I mean, it's just a modern guy, you know, just like, hey, I'm just gonna mark up this mega blue chip key.
The only to me though, the only thing is this or 181. We're not talking about the rarest things in the world. Like you can get a copy of this or Hulk 181 off eBay. It's going to cost you a lot of money, but you can get a copy any day of the week, any time of the day. There's more than one available, so there's that. And I mean, I'm not who am I to say? So they're not screwing up something rare. Like I said, it's a 4.5 up there. How do you even grade a book that's not the same book anymore? You know, but whatever. They're not in the business of not making money, so that's how.
We talk about this a lot. What I'm going to get into a lot on the Hot 10 with the honorable mention a lot with the Golden Age. But what's the deal with Golden Age collectors? Just love like everything bad to be on the cover. It's got to have torture, decapitation, racism, Hitler, a Nazi flag. Like it's like what is it? It's got to be just the worst of the worst thing to own, and people just go crazy for it. $2,900, 62 bids for this Air Fighters Comics #2.
Now, in fairness, this one does have the CBCS check mark next to the 7.0, which so apparently it looks better than a 7.0, which I'm trying to figure out.
I have one of these. I have
they knocked that shit off, didn't they?
I don't have this copy, but I have a check mark. I have a Amazing Spider-Man, the McFarlane Spider-Man #1, the newsstand, and it's got a subscription. Not a crease, but a subscription, thing down the middle, and it says 9.6 with a check mark that says looks better.
That's why they're #2.
Yeah,
I guess. But no, I mean, to answer your question, Brian, I think it's just the fact of when these books came out. I mean, that's the whole reason the code happened was because of these type of covers. So it's basically just a big, middle finger to, authority, I guess, is kind of what it turns out to be. And that's why I think people just love these, is because it was so, I mean, just so wrong to do at the time.
This is the crazy thing. Like
at the time, I think comics were, I think they were a decent part of our, I don't know, this they're a extension of media and social media and stuff like that. Like people even have. Most people probably still 1942. I mean, how prevalent was even a television at the time, right? Like they're getting the word out to try. I'm not saying this is the correct way to do it. I'm not saying this is, we should make these coverage look like this, but like, you know what I mean? There was probably things like army interests and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And being able to,
propaganda,
just promote shit like this, and everything was hyperbole back then,
Yeah.
Like I feel like everything was hyperbole. Everything looked ridiculous. Like everything was overt. So I don't know. I just maybe wasn't the right way to do it, and people think it's funny, and that's why they fucking pay for it or something. I don't know.
Well, it's kind of funny that we got Airboy in the chat tonight. Airboy the Barbarian saying that's the first Airboy. So
thanks, Airboy.
Yeah, what a coincidence. All right, on to the next one. Here we go. Submariner. We talked about Namor last week. We know he's coming. Like, even though it's a rumor, there's no doubt who he is. I mean, come on. Submariner number 50, a CGC 9.6, first name Rita, and it's sold for $12.75. Is that right?
Yeah.
$12.75.
Yeah. So first of all, eBay has taken away the hack of the getting into the code to be able to figure out what the things are. This comes from a Google Chrome extension. So if you have Google Chrome, you can do the extension with SlabWatch, and it will give you this for all your books. So that way you can find out what these buy it nows actually sold for. But this is an all-time high for this book. I mean, I guess people are just kind of. The previous high was only 1,000, just back in April, and it was only $600 last year. So this is more than double, and I guess people are just assuming that this Namorita is going to be something.
Well, I could see it maybe in the far future, but man.
God, that's got to be a tough book to get a 9.6 in. Also,
yeah. What do they call these Marvel covers that have the frame? Don't they call them something? Isn't there something specific, frame covers or something? Chat, let me know if you guys remember where Marvel did this with most of their books. I forget what they call it. There's a term for it. All right, this next book we talked about on the Hot 10 this week. We actually talked about this book specifically while we were looking at all the God Country #1 variants. This is the 25th anniversary blind box virgin variant of God Country #1. An absolutely gorgeous cover, and it's a CGC Signature Series 9.8. Sold for $1,600. Asking price was $2,000. They got $1,600. Not bad.
Yeah, this was the last time this book sold was last January 2020, and it sold for $260. So this is way higher than that. I don't know if the Donny Cates autograph
is that Donnie's auto.
It's Cates. Yeah, okay. It's a Cates auto. So I don't know if that actually adds anything or not. I wouldn't think so. I don't even remember. I can't remember how these blind boxes, how were these distributed? I mean, were they all signed?
That's a great question.
These weren't the SDCC. They weren't all signed. They couldn't be unless they sold it as Signature Series because it's a witness autograph. So, I mean, was this a SDCC box? I remember one, but they had all the white covers. They redid Walking Dead 1 and like all their God, and I think God Country was out at this time. But I think this was probably SDCC like 4 years ago, maybe. I don't know. I bought a bunch of the boxes, and then you pop them. You pop the boxes because they weren't. You get a bunch of the same books, but like you could get more important stuff. But I don't think anything in there was signed, and some actually had a certificate for like signed.
Yeah, that's it.
Was it this one? That's the same one, right? Yeah. So I think maybe that's one of the more 2017. That makes sense. So I think maybe that was one of the more rare inserts in there. So yeah,
I just wasn't sure if they were all signed.
I don't think any. If it was the rare insert, maybe, but like I know most of the stuff wasn't signed in those boxes. I don't say most. I had a bunch of boxes and I didn't get any signed books.
Did you do well on them?
I remember doing fine with them. I don't know if I got anything super rare, but it was like basically, I remember whatever the cost of the box was, you basically could make your money back by selling The Walking Dead, and it just, waiting in line in San Diego was
Well, you can see
the drawback.
that. Yeah, it definitely came in this box. The God Country #1 is right here. So there you go. A lot of books in there.
Because I don't even see it. Oh.
And it says here that each Image 25th Anniversary blind box will contain an assortment of 25 polybag comics, drawing from a selection of 6 different limited edition variants of the 17 all-new 2017 series that are only available within this box. Each comic will be bagged in opaque black poly to keep every comic a surprise. Each box could include randomized variants of the following, and God Country is one of them. And then it says here that each of the 17 series has 6 variants with the inclusion of The Walking Dead, Here's Negan limited edition variant. There are 103 total possible variants included across all 1,992 boxes, so less than 2,000 boxes, and there are only 25 comics per box. So a lot of crazy stuff. It says here, the following is a list of the randomized variants of the series with the likelihood of getting them in your box. If you guys want to take a look at that, you guys can see that. It doesn't say anything. It says extremely rare sketch covers drawn by each series artist, 25 copies per. So maybe that's it. Virgin art only covers without trade dress. Virgin regular covers, black and white 25th and 25th anniversary. So,
yeah, those ratios are also just for however many boxes they made. It's not like the store ratio, so that actually probably makes it a pretty rare book.
It's a dope cover, that's for sure. Absolutely dope cover. All right, on to the next one. Here we go. X-Men #1, CGC 4.5. Ladies and gentlemen, where is Christopher Colbert when we need him? 17.5 for the X-Men one. That is absolutely crazy.
Shit, I thought that might have been his, but he didn't run an auction.
Yeah, this is actually low. The last 8 sales, that last 8 sales for this were all over 20 grand. And one of them was a high of 32.
Wow.
So
don't run auctions in the summer.
Yeah. I mean, you can see it ended yesterday at 11:18 p.m. Is when it ended. So,
what was the last sale on one?
The last 8 were all 20 grand or higher.
Wow.
But I think I'm trying to remember. I feel like this is a book you wouldn't put on eBay anyway. I feel like this is a book you send to Heritage, or Comic Link or something like that. I just feel like you're going to get less money on eBay.
Yep.
If you need money and you don't want to double ship or something like that, I don't know.
Why would you send this with the chance of it being over 20K and then?
Because you have to have over 200 sales and 20K.
Okay,
you have to hit 2 thresholds. Next year is going to change.
Yeah.
People got COVID, so they're going to start taxing eBay sellers now.
Yep. Well, here is the next one that comes from one of our very own. I believe John Z said this was his sale. Teen Titans Go #41, first appearance of the Pink X. As all you guys know, Red X kind of hit all their stuff. His stuff went crazy. That first Red X went bonkers, and I think it was actually part of the blind box at one point for Ben's boxes. I think he gave away a 9.6.
I did.
Here is the Pink X first appearance raw. Sold for $300.
Yeah, that seems high.
Yeah,
I mean, it seems like a really good sale for right. I mean,
yeah.
He was asking 475 is my favorite part. We all learned from Tim Walker, right?
Yeah. So, anyway. Shout out Tim Walker. All right.
I mean, is Pink? I mean, I guess Pink X is still doing something. I guess I don't know.
It's a great character to spec on.
I mean, it looks like this got some spine roll. I don't know. I mean, that's a big sale, right?
It's so bad he didn't send it to me. That's all I know.
All right. How about this next one? Sailor Moon comic issue #1, the SDCC variant, $600. I've never seen this book.
I've never seen this book. I don't even know what it is, to be honest. I just saw a $600 sale, and the last sale was like $350 back in March. So it's like double, almost double.
Is there Sailor Moon news?
Who knows? Not me. I don't follow. Where's Nick Hart when you need him?
Yes, where you at, Nick?
Yeah.
Wake up, man! I know you're in Boston.
I mean, it's a cool looking cover.
It is. It's a very cool looking cover. I love covers like that. It could be a cool cover to get a sketch on too. This is a really interesting one. Shout out to Carter. If you guys aren't watching Carter's videos, go check out Mercenaut on YouTube. He reminded us all about the photo variants for what was that book, Ben? The Western.
The Winona Earp.
Winona Earp. How about photo variants for Ghost
Enzino.
Whisperer? Yeah. Ghost Whisperer number 4, the photo variant, $143 raw. What?
We all know the nickname. Good old days, man.
Yeah.
These things are really hard to find. Like seriously, type in Ghost Whisperer photo variants, and like you don't even see them.
I know why.
Taking your word for it.
Yeah. I wonder if she signed. Can we get an SS of this?
There is of one of the photo variants when I was trying to figure out if this was like a really high sale or not. It was really hard to find. I couldn't find another 4 at all. I couldn't find a number 2. There was a number 1, and I think it was an SS. And it was like listed for like $800 or something like that.
Yeah. Well, great book. There you go, you guys. Make sure you guys check out those bins, those Ghost Whisperer bins, because you got some money in there. Here is a book that people that are familiar, that were in the G Plus CBSI groups back in the day. This is a book that we all wanted and we all searched for a long time. This is the Red Hood Lost Days Bettina variant. The CGC 9.8 sold for $328, and that seems criminally low.
That's like a third of the.
The
max sale is probably $1,200 on that book.
Yeah, it used to be $1,000, almost $1,000, and I think there was a couple sales over $1,000.
Could it be because of his picture is so bad?
I don't know. I mean, this is a low. Based on GPA, this was the lowest sale since 2015. So,
dude, that's
JJ. You really missed out now, man. You got
he barely bid. He didn't bid $328.
Yeah. Well,
but also, the whole issue with Matina and whether or not he was reusing art and things like that. I mean,
yeah.
I think that I honestly think that really hurt him, because his sales are not where they used to be.
Look at that Gamora book. You know what? Without getting too much into it, Dave, is that something that you guys artists talk a lot about behind the scenes?
What's that?
Reusing people's arts. I don't know if you remember what happened with Matina and all that.
That is not in my neighborhood. We don't allow that. I mean, we've all seen guys do homage covers, and you credit the artist who did it before you, because a lot of times the editors will want that. You know what I mean? But yeah, lightboxing someone else's stuff or wholesaling, grabbing somebody else's artwork and painting into it.
No go. That's a big no.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. That's kind of like the way we explain it a lot on the shows, and if comedians talk about that a lot, stealing jokes. I mean, it's just a big no. Creating something, you feel a way about when you create something and somebody either dogs on it or steals it. You feel a real way about that.
Yeah.
And he could have taken a real big hit because of it, because we're seeing big falls on this, and that Gamora cover really dropped. I know Rob says it's still high, but I remember when it was $1,000 book in 9.8, and you couldn't give that thing away for a long time. So
yeah, it sucks because I think he's a really, he's a skilled dude. He can really rock a cover. I just don't understand the need to do that. We all have deadlines, man. But I'd rather tell him, hey, it's gonna be late because I got something else due. Yeah, and the worst part about it is, like you said, he is a
damn good artist. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
There's no denying that. And
this is an original cover. This is a great cover, and it's a rare cover.
Rare.
Like, this was supposedly 1 in 50, if I remember correctly.
And that Lost Days was a rare.
I've never found one of these in person.
What a great series too, right? That was a good series, that Red Hood Lost Days. So, all right, on to the next one. This is the Crow. What is that? Did he mess up on that? What is that?
No, yeah, that's the like a mini series or something.
Okay.
The Lethe or Leth, or
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Okay. This is the number 3 Miko Suyen. Is that how you say it? BTC Virgin variant. And we talked about Brandon Lee, I think last week. We were talking about Brandon Lee and how good some of those Crow covers are if you can find them. And here's a real good one with them, $146 on 27 bids. Did you look much into this one, Stein?
Yeah, the last sale I could find on this, it's pretty hard to find. But the last sale I could find on this was back in April for $45. So it's $100 more than it was in April. It's definitely a really sweet looking cover.
Is it rare? Because that cover is gorgeous. I've never seen this cover before.
Yeah. I think BTC is
Big Time Collectibles, right?
Yeah. I think that's what it stands for. So it's some kind of store variant or something like that. I don't know if it's still available. I have no idea. I did not search it at all. So
be on the lookout, you guys. That's for sure. That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
This next one, we just got done talking about this guy, and here's another book on his list that just shows this guy. His art is amazing, and Thrawn #1, the Matina 1 in 50. This is one of those books that right when it came out, people knew it was killer. I know Marco over at Star Wars talks about this a lot. It's just really good stuff. So
you want to be serious. Trey called a shot on this one the day of release.
Yes.
We had a UD show that time, and there was a Hans cover for like X-Men Blue or X-Men Gold 21 variant, and it's still an amazing cover. And he said, everybody is sleeping. You do not know that someday the Thrawn cover that Matina did today is going to outsell that book by a lot. And if this isn't proof that it sold for $3,000, if that isn't proof that he happened to be right that day, then I don't know what is. But then again, it was kind of slept on because we were all sleeping on not all of us, but most of just the comic people were sleeping on Star Wars back then. So
yep.
Yeah, this was an all-time high. The all-time high was actually set just last week at 2,200. And so it went from 2,200 to 3,000, and both of those were all-time highs. So
that's crazy.
And this is purely for cover. There's no first appearance. It is a #1, which is always going to sell for more, but this is purely a #1. But it's it's not like it's first Thrawn in comics or something like that. So like it's straight up $3,000 for like how much Star Wars fans enjoy this cover.
Yeah. Well, this next one is one that I want to know if Carter's ever found in the wild. Bone #1.
Never. That's one I can say I've never seen.
This is a book that I wish, another one of those Gretzky buys where I said I was going to buy one and I never did. This is one of those books. And now look at it, 9.2, $3,500. Tough book.
Yeah, actually Z found one from in my area. Bought one, got it pressed, and I think got a 9.6 on it.
Oh.
Yeah, he stole that from my neck of the woods, but that's okay. I stole books out of his neck of the woods too. So, yeah, this was $1,000 higher than the
higher
higher than the last 9.2 that sold for like 25. So,
yep.
All these copper, rare indie books, and this one is rare. It's really hard to find.
Yeah, it doesn't exist, and there's lots of printings. So
many.
If you find 8 print in the back bin tomorrow, just so you know, you might not have $3,500 coming.
Just make sure that the cover is red, that the bone is red. That's what you guys want to look out for.
Yeah,
and some of those
yeah.
later printings are super rare too. I think like the 9th or 8th one is super hard to find.
Yeah, now that's a thing. So
yeah. Well, this next book we've already talked about it a ton on this on the show tonight because Dave is in the house, but we had to show a recent sale here. There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So for those of you who own one of these, maybe you should get it graded.
yeah, and in that era of DC isn't. They were easy. The spines were easily bendable, if that makes any sense. Like they didn't feel thick, so getting spine ticks and stuff like that was really difficult. And a lot of them, if not all of them, most of them had the black back cut. I mean, this book definitely had the black back cover, but like a lot of the DC books printed at the exact same time had the black back cover, and those take the hit. So yeah.
Yeah. Well,
maybe did you guys ask Dave this before I got on? But do you collect all your books?
Yeah, I mean, I have, I could keep my stipend that they send me, Speaking of which, don't ever send them in a bag. Don't ever send books in a bag like this cover was sent to me. we talked about this a little bit before the show where after I had done the cover, DC had sent my copies to me, and whomever sent them just threw them in a manila bag and just mailed them to me. And when I opened them up, like all 5 copies, like 3 of the covers were completely ripped off of them. And like the other ones were just like dented and creased. And so I just emailed and was like, hey guys, I know this is a courtesy, but moving forward, if you could not put them in a bag. And I sent them a photo of how they came, and they're like, oh Dave, really sorry, no worries. And what's funny is initially the books came from DC, but the replacement copies came from Diamond because they'd already been sent out and everything else. And I got like 10 pristine copies bagged and boarded from Diamond, sealed,
Nice.
And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. And they just went right into my short box of stuff that I've worked on, and didn't even think of anything about it until people started showing up at cons asking me why it was rare,
Yeah. What? How do you do your art? Is it done? Do you do it on PC? How does your OA work? Joe, people are asking. Here's Doc Joe asking: is there OA for this that's available?
NFT.
Sorta. Yeah. There's
NFT,
definitely something.
Yeah.
I definitely start an original on paper. I'm super old school. I've got a Cintiq. I get in there and I noodle and render and everything else, just like any other digital artist. But as far as like ideation and layout, like it's still ballpoint pen on a piece of paper to me. I got to scribble, just because I get the flow that way. And then from there, it just depends. If the deadline is decent, then I'll blow that up and put it on like Bristol, and I'll actually get like an original that's like pencil or pen and ink, and then I'll slap it on my scanner, and then I'll just color it in Photoshop. But if the deadline's hectic, I've got like 3 things on deck, and an editor is like, hey, can I get one this week too? And I'm like, man, I can't say no to this, like, sure. Then it's like a quick thumbnail, get that done, and I'll shoot it with my phone and stretch it up in Photoshop, and I'll just start painting right into it because I got to get it all done.
Nice.
Do you still do a bunch of stuff for a Sideshow right now?
I took a break from Sideshow recently. I think the last thing I did for them was the Spider-Man Venom print.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that.
And we just started talking again about doing something this fall, getting back together because they wanted to do something more recent. But I asked for the fall because I need a break. Been burning the candle at every end possible, and
well, we appreciate it, brother.
Summers in San Diego are awesome, right? So
yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong there. Like, oh, it's so stressful. Then you walk outside, and you're like, I can keep going. It's not so bad.
Everybody that's watching, we got 163 live right now. We talked about this earlier. If you guys like Dave's art, especially if you like this Skeletor variant from the DC run, make sure you guys go check out the Dark Horse run that's coming out. It is the prequel for the Netflix show. You guys can go to Wanted Comics and get this super dope issue number 1 exclusive by Dave. Dave is now, I mean, tonight we can announce that not only is Dave doing variants for 2 and so on down the run, a little bit down the run, he's also doing number 1. So you guys can get those first couple. Well, how many issues? 4 issues, I believe, that you guys can get all of Dave's art now. If you guys go to wannacomics.com, keep an eye on them over at IG Wannacomics with an X, and you can score the super dope issue 1 variant from Drew and Dave over at Wannacomics. Dope shit. All right,
and follow on Instagram because it's not. It'll be for sale very, very, very shortly, but it's not live at this second. So if you go there and you can't find it, that's because it's not quite live yet.
All right, here some more He-Man stuff. And shout out to all the He-Man fans. We talked about this book last week. This was last Hot 10. This was number 9 or 8, I think, on the list this week. Here are some recent sales that just blow you away for the 9.8 DC Comics Presents number 47. Not only did we talk about it on the Hot 10 on Friday, I think, Sean, you talked about it on Dealer Flipside last week or the week before.
I did.
And you made a lot of people change their mind. What was the other book? It was either this or...
I don't... Carter, you were there.
Oh, shit.
What was this? What was this up against?
Oh,
I forget. Well, you already know what answer I was gonna give, so I forget. And then they're like, I think Nika knew I was coming on. I was like, okay, but that I don't remember exactly what this versus another book. And then,
you made everybody forget.
I can go on He-Man rants all day long, man.
2 first appearances on the cover, 2 iconic characters. This is exactly what Sean said, and it made everybody change their mind. Like, they all went back, hey, can I change my mind? Can I change my mind? So, 2 iconic first appearances of iconic characters, and they're fighting Superman. Like, what a great book. So, for those of you guys that don't maybe have some high grade copies of this, maybe it's worth. There you go, Conan 23.
There we go. It's He-Man versus Red Sonja.
Yeah,
out of here, man.
Yeah, I agree, brother. I agree.
Red Sonja over He-Man. Get out of here.
Well, here's some more He-Man books. This is another book that you talked about recently, Sean. The Masters of the Universe number 1, the He-Man.org exclusive. I think a couple of these recently sold.
There's
here. There's 2 9/8.
I had it last week because it was in my pickups because CGC gave me the wrong label on the book.
That's what it was,
and that didn't make me very happy. But this is the Bear. I'll say his name wrong, so I don't. It's strange. Starts with a B. It's Barrett or Bates. I forget. There's only 500 of these printed. Period. There are 2 9/8s. And I think I have a third 9/8, but it says it's number 8 in the series. So I don't know. I pressed one of the 9/8s. I did throw this one in here just because we're adding Masters Universe books this week, just for obvious reasons. I actually won this auction, so I do own this book. And then also because I just knew that I had pressed the other 9/8 for someone else, and there wasn't a second one. I decided, and I figured the one I had was probably going to come back 9/8 because it was better than both of those, or as good, but comparable at least. And so I've kind of had a piece on all 3 of the 9/8s of this book. And if CGC changes my label, then I'll have the other one,
the third.
So anyway, but this is a big time book to me. This whole He-Man.org, getting 9/8s in this set. I get Ben got a 9/8 on number 2, and we did a nice trade, and I haven't seen another, and that book's never going to leave my house. So I'm super excited about it. So so this is just a great book. It's a great cover. I don't know what dragon that Skeletor's riding up there, throwing bolts down, but it looks like a good fight to me.
Yeah, dope. All right, next one. This is the Masters of the Universe run on the Marvel/Star imprint. A lot of people in the CBSI crew for years have talked about owning this set in all 9.8s. I know, Sean, do you have the set 9.8?
I don't have the set in 9.8. I'm a little weirder about Masters Universe because I'm such a fan that that owning things and owning nice things in it one by one. I care slightly less about some of the grades only because like they mean more to me, and they're not things that I'm ever gonna like really try to resell. I hope,
Yeah.
But Brian Wood is the one. So Simple Man's Comics. Everybody listening to us knows exactly who Simple Man's Comics is. He did do a video. He did finally put the 1 through 12 together of the Marvel run from 1987. The first run was DC, and it was a 3-issue run. The little miniseries. But he definitely put these 9/8s together. And the late issues, these are people just trying to put this run together. And here's another one, same thing. There's nothing special about these 2 books except they're just impossible to find in 9.8. You know what I mean? Like the kids comic crossover kind of thing. You know, and they're late in the run. So
and
that's a lot of money.
These were the ones that people are always looking for, these 2 issues, right? They've been looking for a long time. This is Masters of the Universe number 12. Here Lies He-Man cover, which goes along great with the
12 and 13.
There we go.
And those are 2 more, and those are both newsstands. And so the 12 and 13 in these, they're just great. They've always sold for more money, and I'm not just talking about 9/8s. Like 12 and 13, just being the He-Man and Skeletor to have as a cool set. They've always sold well together. They're difficult to find because they're the last issues, and they've just always been worth more. And they've got cool covers. The 12 usually sells for more because I just find it seems like a prominent Skeletor. It gets a little bit more of a premium than a prominent He-Man is just because. But I don't know how to completely explain it, but I happen to be one of those people. So I've got like Skeletor skateboards hanging on the wall and shit like that. So a little out of view, but it's right there. And so anyway, but these are great books. So if you find these in back bins, consider yourself lucky. Buy them in any condition that they're in. Take them home, enjoy them, give them a cool read, and then just throw them up. So so the 12 and 13 are just they're big time. So I think these are actually decent deals considering the 9 and 10 because they're both newsstands also. So.
Well, I got some cool toy stuff to talk about. This is some interesting stuff. We got to get into the Masters of the Universe stuff. We talked about DC 47. This is a cool 2-pack that Toys R Us put out back in the day, and it's a DC. It's the DC Universe DC Universe figures, but they have one versus He-Man, just like the cover. It's got the cover on it. It's about a $250.
It comes with that comic.
Yeah, it does.
It comes with the reprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you guys can see a comic book included reprint, which is it's tough to find that issue in decent condition too. So this is a really cool toy set. So make sure you guys check that out. Another toy set, let's see here that I can get into. He-Man stuff, all He-Man stuff just goes crazy, especially that early stuff we talk about a lot. But something that I thought was funny was this Emperor Trump one. So this is kind of
that's gotta be did that actually get released? Or
no,
is that a custom?
It's a custom, and I just thought it was funny. But they got a lot of cool customs that looks like they did. And shout out to people who are doing custom figures. Bling Man as Beast, Hypno Squid Skeletor. I mean, like they're just people just doing cool stuff, and I appreciate that.
Skeletor?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
So shout out to the Emperor Trump. But we talked about. Like the super crazy stuff. This is a super crazy one. They call this, I guess, the holy grail of Masters Universe figures. The Leo Toys India He-Man 1993 rare faker misprint. It sold for $6,200. And I've never heard of this, but they call this the holy grail. So for those of you guys that
why is it faker? Is it on the back or something?
Because supposedly on the back it's got faker. It says faker evil robot. It's I don't know, faker misprint red. I don't know what that means, but that's the reason. Something for that. It says here up for auction is ultra rare and possible to find Leo Toys India He-Man unpunched with a clear bubble. Does not get rarer than this. This He-Man India figure on a red card might be the only one in existence. Oh, it's because it's on a red faker card.
So wait, it's not. It's not though. It says He-Man at the top.
Does it?
Go all the way to the first picture. Yeah, that's what I thought it would be on the faker card. I could be tripping.
Yeah, it is on.
It says He-Man.
Yeah. What is the back faker?
I don't know. Just put a fire emoji and sell it for more money.
I know, right?
He's making shit up. That's all.
He's making shit up. Well, he sold it for a lot. But you guys know I'm a huge Faker fan, so I had to look up the Faker stuff. How about this one? An original Faker on card. It's not great, but there it is. Old school. And they did remake these. I mean, what a great figure. But you can see it's not in great condition. And this sold for $1,400.
8-bag. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I always love the Faker stuff. So here's the Ultimate Edition from Super 7. This one sold for $208. It's kind of cool. Shit. It comes with the different heads and stuff. I really like this classic Masters of the Universe line. They did a really good job with it.
Well, Super 7's the shit, dude.
Yeah,
they are plain and simple.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Of course, Sean already talked about the John Cena. For those of you guys that don't know, Masters of the Universe is such a great toy line that they put it out again so you guys can go find the old school figures, the same molds and everything. Well, they started making them into the WWE figures also. They kind of like mixed them, and this is the Faker version of John Cena, as Sean talked about. What a great character, right? Absolutely killer. But this one blew me away. This is another original Faker that sold for just on $4,600 for this one because of the condition. I mean, absolutely beautiful. Look at that one. Yeah. Damn. So that was pretty cool. All right, so let's get into some of the other stuff. I thought this was interesting for those of you guys that remember like toys in your Happy Meals and stuff. If any of you guys worked at Burger King or KFC back in the day, and you have some of these old Micro Machine giveaway things, this piece sold for $440, which was absolutely crazy, but it'd be kind of cool to own that if you're really into that.
That's pretty cool. I just found a bunch of Micro Machines in the garage.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy about that.
Shout out to Dave. This is the German one that you were talking about, Sean. The German trade variant of that Skeletor book. Yeah.
Even that was expensive.
Yep.
I got a better deal than that guy.
I'm out.
I got a better deal than that guy.
For our old school viewers and listeners, if you grew up in the 60s, I thought this was super cool. I've never heard about these, but these look awesome. And if I grew up in the 60s and I played with these, I'd be buying these all the time. They're called Parafools. They're like parachute guys that used to get from the Ice Cream Man, but they were made by Leaf, who did cards later on. But this sold for a grip of money. Look how cool this is. You can see they're all in there. They're the little parachute guys.
It sounds like the Homies line or something.
Yeah, right?
Parafools.
Yeah. You remember you used to put firecrackers on these and launch them with water balloon launchers. $150 this sold for this box. I think that's criminally low for something like that from the 60s. But we talk about these old school boxes, that people find in their shop all the time. Sean, have you ever heard of this? 1986 Garbage Pail Kids 5th Series Jumbo Box. I didn't know they did jumbo packs for Garbage Pail Kids.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and that's
got to be rare.
Yeah, and this has been sent to Baseball Card Exchange to get verified. It is unsearched, unopened. They put a seal on it, and absolutely crazy. I've never seen the jumbo packs of Garbage Pail Kids. I've seen rack packs, but not jumbo packs.
Yeah.
This one sold for $500.
Yeah. I'd have split it with you.
Yeah.
Except
I didn't even know about it.
We would have opened it though.
Yeah, guarantee.
We would have opened it.
Yeah. For those of you guys that like the unopened Garbage Pail Kids, and you saw the crazy numbers that first series and second series boxes are going for $27,000, $20,000. Look at the 16th series. I didn't even know the 16th series was this rare, but a 16th series box sold for $521. So I guess this might be the last. Is this the last series? I don't know, but because it says fan made, why would somebody? I don't get that.
Fan made.
Yeah, it says fan made. So did somebody just buy this to make it and sold it, and somebody get fleeced? Or is that market there? Look at, they only made 200 of them. That market might be there for people. So
the craft company.
Yeah. So, anyways, all right. This is something really cool. We've talked about the Bong card, the signed Mark Hamill Bong card, which is in this. But I thought this was funny for any of you guys that go and get autographs from the Star Wars guys. If you take some of these cards to Mark Hamill, he'll put cool, write little cool quotes on them. As you guys can see, this is kind of good. This food sucks. Here's the Bong one. Awesome. World's largest bong for sale. Call Luke 555 weed. Mark Hamill is a funny dude, man. This dude's a character. There's now I can go to Toshi Station whenever I want. This one says class of 78 Jedi High. This one's really good. Keep this in your wallet if you're a pansy fanboy.
Wow.
Never show up late for dinner at dad's house. My uncle looks pissed. I like this one. Looks like C-3PO is excited. On the boner card, ladies and gentlemen.
On the actual card?
On the boner card.
On the boner card.
Yeah, really good. Gosh. Yeah, really good. This one says this Vader guy's a loser. Hope he doesn't have kids. This one, I said this land speeder could be Grease Lightning Punk. This one's who has my helmet? Darn it, I told Uncle Owen not to smoke in the house.
Oh man,
it worked in Mallrats. That's a good one. Shout out Kevin Smith, man. Kevin Smith, if you happen to be watching this one, that's a great one right there. Wish I was at Toshi Station. Airbags my ass. Jedi graduate class of '83. This one, there's a really good one coming up. It's just a scratch. This one's great. This is one really crappy card. It's all creased up. You smell something, girl? I'll never join you. So anyways, Luke, Mark Hamill just does. No, it's not true. He does really cool stuff. So if you guys go give him some stuff to sign. That's some pretty cool stuff. All right, to end it out, we'll go quickly. I just got a couple more. Let me get rid of these. All right. More Star Wars. This is the reason I put this up is because I've talked about this. Even the figures loose without any of their accessories are worth money. This is the Han Solo figure that usually comes with a carbonite, and it was in the Power of the Force line. And just the Han Solo alone sells for $107, which is crazy. This is the Dragon Man figure. I showed a loose figure of this the other day. It sold for like 200 and something. Here is it carded. This is this Fantastic Four line. The classic Fantastic Four line had some great figures. This is also around the same time that has the Spider Hulk figure, but this Dragon Man figure I could never find. I always wanted this, but you can see a lot of people want it too. $545 carded. Here's a dope figure, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures that people don't know about. This is Tyranno Shredder, an AFA 60. Which AFA 60, that's damage, sold for $1,150 and for 43 bids. 1997 figure, super tough to find.
Is it AFA though?
I don't know. It says AFA 60, so I don't know if they what happened, why they're why they
9.9 question mark.
Yeah. Here's this. Well, sorry, I already talked about this one. Here's an interesting one. Now I've talked about looking for these lots. Here's a lot of all the Star Wars comic figures, all the cool ones. It's got all the Darths. It's got Revan, Malik. It's got Talon. All loose. It's even got Asajj Ventress back there. It's got all the hard to find figures, and somebody got them all for $360. That's really probably a good deal when you see how expensive these figures go for. Sold single. Another Star Wars or a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figure. This is a Hot Spot. We've talked about this on before. This is a tough figure to find. This one sold carded for $1,100. And then for those of you that have some of these old school Star Wars action figure books, I had this guide back in the day, and just the guide alone sells for $322, which is crazy. This is really cool. This is the Destro vintage costume set for 1984. How cool is that?
I'm feeling it.
All right. That is super dope, man. It comes with the mask, all the accessories, the little chain, right? So you can be Pimp Daddy Destro. So and it's still in the box. $616.
Somebody sat on the box, but
I don't care. It's cool, man. That is so cool. How rare is that? That's super rare. And then this one is crazy. A mint on card vintage Star Wars Empire Strikes Back unpunched 48 back Boba Fett, $3,716.
That's a good investment right there.
Yes, very.
Seriously,
in my opinion,
that is a good investment right there.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the marker report. And before we get on to the last part of the show, which is pickups, which will go quick, I want to remind everybody, make sure you guys check out Wanted Comics. That's Wanted Comics with an X. And be on the lookout for this amazing Masters of the Universe Revelation cover by Dave Wilkins, who absolutely killed it. This is an exclusive for #1. If you guys want all the dope Dave Wilkins cover, it starts with this one. So order this over at Wanted Comics with an X. Make sure to follow them on IG. Doing great stuff over there. Really cool cover. All right, you guys ready for pickups? I don't have anything, so I'm good to go this week. I do have one thing.
Everybody's got something, dude. We're all degenerates. We all go to the mailbox.
I'll start. Yeah, I'll start it off real quick. I got the Something Is Killing the Children, Ji Hung Lee.
Oh wow.
Yeah, look
gorgeous.
how. I mean, I know
Beautiful.
they printed a ton of these, but the foil. This is
Yeah.
the foil. Just
Gorgeous.
Wow.
yeah.
That's nice and full.
So, for those of you who ordered that, you should either have them in your mailbox already, or you already got them. So, all right, Sean, you're up. You ready?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's light for me too. Only because we're talking about Faker. I used to do this. I used to showcase some of the more Master Universe stuff. With everything going on, I'm actually going to start putting more posts on Instagram. This is not a pickup, but it happens to be in the box. Is one thing I want to take over. So this is to the best of our knowledge, like the only Faker cover, and it's like the graham crackers. I think 500 permanent run, if I remember correctly. It's Master Universe #8. The other #8 with they screwed my CGC label on was the He-Man.org, and it's a wraparound, and it's super cool. So it's a great book to get slabbed. Yeah. Everybody's blue. I did our boy Martian that was in here earlier. He did run with 9.6. This is 9.4. I was gonna try to slide it through at Baltimore on site. So yeah, not a pickup, but just since we're talking Master Universe tonight.
Why do you got to make me jealous all the time with this shit, man?
I don't know. I got more. I'm an idiot. I have way too many Master Universe comics. If there's anything, one sports related, as the Clippers are blowing out Utah to tie this up 2-2, I somehow won a PSA 10 Terrence Mann for about $30 or something like that, which you can't even get it graded for that right now.
No, great.
So here's a Prism rookie.
How's he doing? Is he doing well?
He's balling his face off. He's really good, and I'm really happy. He's coming along well. And unlike Doc Rivers, Tyronn Lue will actually play young players sometimes to see if they get better. So that's an important thing. But anyway, and then what do I have? So I got this skateboard.
Ooh.
So we were talking about I just opened it now. It's in a plastic bag. It's top GPK and Get a Grip, and this one's actually going to go on the wall with the other. So here's all the boxes.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't even know they made that. That's amazing, Sean.
It sold out in like 2 hours, and then I logged back on 2 minutes after I bought it, and they were out. And then so I didn't text you because then I would have felt bad. It's from Jesus, I didn't even realize. So this is 194 out of 300, so it's actually even numbered.
That's
so dope. Yeah. So I got this, and we all know why I got this. Brian and I did a Garbage Pail Kids show and opening show probably a year and a half ago or something like that. So this is our thing, and when something like that comes up, yeah. And so I grabbed that, and actually it came with. It came with well, it didn't come with, but there's packages of wheels that are all and so you collect all 8 wheels. I didn't know I was buying. So because I bought a skateboard, I bought 4 packages of the wheels, and so they're mystery packs. I don't know what I'm going to do with these yet, but for whatever reason, I know I only paid for 4 and there's 5 in the box, so I'm just going to go ahead and open one real quick because why not, right? Should just open them all because God knows I'll never get around to selling a skateboard wheel.
Garbage Pail Kids stuff is so cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway,
instantly takes me back to like 1987.
It makes me so happy. Yeah. So let's see what this first Garbage Pail Kids wheel looks like. I got a Ghastly Ashley.
Nice.
There we go. It says how rare some of them are. The atom bomb is the chase, apparently.
Of course.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's kind of cool. That's it. That's my pickups for the week. It's basically a skateboard and some wheels.
Not bad. Big Nosh, thank you, brother. We appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Everybody, we got 146 live towards the end of the show. We appreciate you guys. And make sure you hit that like button, the subscribe button, all that fun stuff so you know whenever we drop stuff. All right, who's next?
I'll go.
All right.
You go ahead,
Carter.
I went to a Pulp convention.
Nice.
The other day. Pulp.
Wow. That's awesome. Hell yeah.
Baby. So we're gonna start off tough. We got a book that is anybody familiar with this cover at all?
No.
I could have swore I've seen this image like reprinted plenty of times, but I came across this, and apparently this is kind of a classic Pulp cover. Tough Doll by Peggy Gaddis. And we got this for $20, which seems like an amazing deal.
Yeah.
All right. And okay. So I bought about 4 books. 2 of them, they're on my channel. They're on the Hall channel. I'm gonna plug the shit out of my channel. So, but
youtube.com/Mercenaut.
Absolutely. But we're gonna go with this book. I was lucky enough. So Startling Stories, January 1950. And so
like an alien robot.
Yeah, so Startling Comics 1948, that is the robot cover, right, of the Golden Age. But I think this might be number 2, Startling Stories from 1950. This book is I want to say maybe even in this condition, which is rough, still maybe like a $300 to $400 book. And oddly enough, we were set up right next to someone who wrote the book on Pulp Comics. On Pulp magazines.
From the bookery?
No, this was a guy from Florida, and he sold me this for $25. This thing is even though
that's a score and a half.
It's just beautiful. Period.
This is nuts.
Wow,
freaking amazing. Actually, I've never seen it.
Yeah, and
headlights cover for sure.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for
Super
sure.
Headlights.
So the number 2 robot cover, and I'm floored. And there's an auction going on for a copy of this, and I really want to see where it goes. I think there's maybe 5 or 6 days left. I'm really excited to see where it goes. All right, next up, Alpha Flight. Now, Alpha Flight is a thing, and this is a book that I talked about. I bought this for $1 a while ago. So Marvel Age 2. This book blows Alpha Flight 1, blows the cover away. And on top of that, it's the first preview appearance of Puck. Yes, the only one that matters. Because he looks lame. They look lame. The Vindicator, he's cool. Sasquatch Man, yeah, he's pretty cool. Her, I'm a little partial. But Marvel Age 2, first preview appearance of some of these characters, and the cover is way better than Alpha Flight number 1. We also found a copy of What If featuring Planet Hulk. Now, I bought this book on a Thursday. So first appearance of Scar. I talked about it on my channel for Friday morning. And then this was just coincidence. Then this book totally blew up later that night. And now it's a $200 book or something like that, almost $150 to $200 book.
Wow, I didn't even realize that happened.
Yeah, I think there's some sort of speculation about. I felt like a goober paying $18 because I'm super cheap. So Yeah, man. This was perfect timing. Perfect timing. Look at those prices. It's
Yeah,
nuts.
there's news that Scar is supposedly coming soon for the MCU.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a lot of Scar stuff. And if anybody has that old World War Hulk stuff, stuff is finally selling. So now get it out of that dead spec box and start selling.
Right.
Yep. That's very cool, bro. Is that it?
You know what? Screw it. We'll do one. We'll do one more pulp. Screw it. Here we go. Another Startling Stories. This is Winter 1946. Winter 1946. How gorgeous is this cover?
Yeah,
that color is beautiful.
Yeah, man. I got this for $5.
75 years old or whatever.
Yeah, this is $5.
Pulps are great to spec on right now because they're cheap, right? Jeez.
Yeah, I tell you what. If it has a hot chick on the cover, go for it.
Yep. Dave, you got any pickups?
Only one.
All right.
As anyone knows, like I'm a huge Dark Knight nerd. That's my favorite incarnate Batman. I've been collecting these MOFX figures.
Ooh.
And I got the Dark Knight that's the blue with the scratched like cover number 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it also comes with the variant like old man head. Granddaddy Bruce, which I dig.
Awesome.
Yeah, so like I collect these. This one's just came in, so I'm super stoked.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I've never even seen those. That's new to me.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Ben, you got anything?
Well, I wasn't going to show anything, but since Carter threw a pulp, I actually picked up a pulp as well. Which this is from.
Wow.
So this is kind of this is kind of like the I don't know, like those old pre-code where they're like on the water wheels and stuff like that. Except for she's on a water heater. Yeah.
She's taking it in stride, ain't she?
Man, she is.
She got a smile on her face.
She's like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Hey, I was kind of like Carter. I was like, you know what? I have no idea what this thing is worth anything. I bought it from a place in Dayton, and that guy actually does write he writes the pulp book, like the one that's got like the guide or whatever. So he's got a ton of pulps there. I was just looking through it just to find one with a really good cover. I know they sell like on Heritage and stuff. Some of the really good looking covers sell for a lot of money.
Yep.
So it's definitely because most people don't. I mean, their paper quality is terrible on them, but I don't think condition is a big a deal because nobody grade CGC does. Now, if CGC does start to grade them, then these are going to.
They don't grade pulps.
No,
they grade trade paperbacks.
There's like a million pages, and like the page count. Try to keep track of the page count.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good point.
And yes, in Massive, I did buy that at the Bookery. That's where I bought it. If they ever start to, pulps will blow up. So if you can find them for cheap, like Carter did for $5, $10, I would definitely be buying them.
So many stunning painted covers, also. They're just amazing. There's so many
cool stuff.
And I don't even know a list. I just as you go through them, you don't find them that often. Just enjoy them, you know.
Well, before we leave, I want to remind everybody again, Wanted Comics, Dave Wilkins, Master of the Universe Revelation #1, exclusive variant. If you guys want to start off the Dave Wilkins set, this is where you guys want to get it. Make sure you follow Wanted Comics. Also follow Dave on IG. Dave Wilkins, is it Dave Wilkins Art? What do you got there, Dave?
It's actually 400-pound ninja on IG.
Even better. 400-pound ninja. Even better. So make sure you guys watch 400-pound ninja on IG. Wanted Comics with an X on IG. This absolutely gorgeous cover. If you guys have the Skeletor, the DC Comics variant for #1, this goes with it perfectly. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be wanting to pick this up. So make sure you guys follow Wanted Comics with an X on IG. And of course, we'll walk out tonight to the amazing recent trailer for Kevin Smith and Netflix new He-Man show. We'll let you guys watch a little of this before we call it a night. So thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys.
punch the ground, throw the next guy.
All the characters are there too. That's the cool part.
Yeah, they are.
I have the power!
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time.